You're watching It's Life Live with your hosts, Juan Lee and Oliver Marcel. Come join us for enriching, enlightening, encouraging, and thought-provoking conversation. Let's go. What's up, everybody?
Hey, Oliver, what's going on?
I guess it would have helped if, I would have put us in the show so that we were there after the intro, right? That's
okay. That's
that
all
just
right.
speaks to the kind of day it was today, right? It's just
Hey,
we were just supposed to just by osmosis appear.
We're gonna live this title of this show one way or another.
It's
It
all
is
good,
Life Live.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. And yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, you know me. We talk, so you know what my Wednesdays look like,
I
right?
hear you.
Today was a little bit. Wednesdays are always kind of packed. Today was a little bit more packed than normal. So yeah, I get to sit down and have a conversation and listen to our guests and learn some things, which is a different environment than the environments that I was in throughout the day. So this is a welcome change. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Hey, this is great. This is great. Let me do a little housekeeping, and we like to introduce before we introduce our guests. My name is Juan Lee. This is Oliver Marcel. This is It's Life Live. If this is your first time here, we want to welcome you. We appreciate you being here. We are here representing Clear Journey, a nonprofit that is here to support you in your journey in life. We're here to support you, educate you, and give you resources that can help you navigate life's challenges so that you can be your very best you. And that's what we do. If you want to learn more about us at clearjourney.org, by all means, go over there and find out a lot more about us. I'm an author of a book, which is the foundation of Clear Journey. It's called Love Made Simple, The Guide to Inner Peace, Contentment, and Success. If you want to really know about Clear Journey's real mission, it comes from that book. If you'd like to pick it up, it's on Amazon and it's also on Audible. So you can learn a little bit more about Clear Journey basically by reading that book and understanding a little bit more about it, because Clear Journey is making love practical. And this is the one where it gives us the mindset of love. So that being the case, welcome. If you're here for the first time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or any of the channels that you might be on and watching us on, so we can really begin to be a part of our community, because we're here to serve you. That's exactly why we're here. That's the only reason why we're here. You are why we are here. Tonight, we have a wonderful guest. Her name is LaTonya MeChelle, and I'm gonna tell you off the bat, she and I are connecting on so many levels. But let me just give you a little bit about her bio. She spent time in the military. That's why we talked about the description of our podcast. And she's a military family person, and most people we call them military brats because they grew up in the military. But then she served in the military also. And now she's a speaker. She's a coach, a love coach, an inspirational speaker, and a media personality. Her mission is to change the perspective and the empowerment of individuals to embrace their true selves. I mean, that in and of itself is about what Clear Journey is all about, is being able to be your authentic self. And that's what she does in her coaching as a love coach. So without further ado, so we can get right into it, let's introduce to you LaTonya, and let us see you now. Come on up.
So listen, as she's coming up, if you're watching this or watching the replay, you need to hit the share button right now.
Okay.
Before the conversation even starts, hit the share button so we can get some folk to see this, hear this information. She's coming up right now. Here we go. Welcome.
And she's
Uh,
up.
quarter,
Hi,
quarter,
everybody.
quarter mid sip.
Hey,
Love
hey.
Rising. Love Rising, everybody. How y'all doing?
What's
Hello,
happening?
hello, hello. She looking like a 20-year-old what is it? Alicia Keys. That's what she doing. She doing looking like a 20-year-old Alicia Keys. How you doing?
Listen, I'm amazing. I'm amazing. How are you all doing?
We are
Doing
doing
It's
doing
great.
well. Looking,
Juneteenth,
it's
Hey,
Juneteenth. It's a
look,
great day for a show,
and it's a
look.
holiday.
and it's
You
a
know
holiday.
what? And this is interesting. This is the first holiday since Martin Luther King Jr. holiday was granted. And here we are on Juneteenth celebrating and having an interview with LaTonya. So, LaTonya, catch a sip, get your breath, and then let's talk about, let people know who you are. And then we're going to have to throw a little bit of Juneteenth in this as it relates to the implications as it relates to us being here tonight. So I forgot all about that, Oliver. You've been out partying all day, ain't you?
Man, not me. I haven't been partying. I wish. I wish I was,
Let me
but
say this.
yeah, this is a good day. This is a
What
good day
better
to go ahead.
what better way to spend Juneteenth with two positive, handsome black men doing the dang thing? Come on. They say that we can't get along. They say we don't support each other. Let's break that stereotype right now.
There
Well,
it is.
I
I
appreciate
love
you
it.
spending that day with us. We really do appreciate that because, to be honest with you, when we scheduled, I had no idea that this was Juneteenth. I had no idea.
Listen, me either. That's fine. That's fine. We supposed to be celebrating. We supposed to be putting out positive, good energy on this day. So let's do it.
There you go. So let the
Yeah.
people know who you are and just let's get started. Tell us about who you are and what it is that you do so very well.
So I'm LaTonya MeChelle. Wow. I am a disabled, 100% disabled Air Force veteran. I'm a mother of a 34-year-old son. I own business. It's called the LaTonya MeChelle Experience. You can find all my services at LaTonyaMeChelle.com or my professional services because I do services for the government contracting too at LME Team. I'm all about love. I'm all about life. And I believe that the essence of all of this starts from self. If you take the time to fall in love with yourself and understand that you are a wow factor, everything else in your life will fall together. We're so busy out there looking for mates. We're looking for these perfect relationships or whatever, but we're always looking for something from somebody else. But we forget to stop and look within because that's where the answers. Because as soon as we tap into who we are and who we were created to be, everything else starts to flow into place. So that's what I'm about. People pay me to pour that into them on a normal basis and to hold them accountable and help their relationships, better their relationships, couples that's just getting together, couples that's been together for a while. They have a boring sex life where they're just not communicating. They bring LaTonya MeChelle in there, not in the bedroom, but in and we take it to another level. I help individuals. I help veterans. That's what I do.
Well, all right. Okay then.
So
I tell
that's a
you,
little
you
about.
you've encapsulated all of what Club Clear Journey is all about, and that's about giving people the opportunity to better themselves. They've got to want to do it, but that's what it is about wanting to better themselves.
They
So,
do.
Oliver, I'm gonna let you go. If you got something that you wanna you biting at the bit there, I mean, I'm gonna let you
Hey,
start.
listen, so I have the website up on another screen, and so I was kind of as you were talking, just kind of looking through everything that you are involved
Okay.
with. Now, obviously, I'm going to gravitate to the relationship stuff because
Okay. Let's do it. Let's
that's
do
my
it.
wheelhouse. What I want to jump right in, and we're
Mhm.
gonna jump all over the place because I know Juan has probably some
Please,
way different stuff than I
please,
do.
and
In
don't
your
hold back.
experience, hey, I love it. I love it. In your experience, what are the common what's the word I want to use? What are the common strongholds I use that word on purpose, that you see
People
that
pass it.
it, say it
Oh,
again.
I was
What
about to
you
answer, but you
started to
went.
answer. What'd you
I'll
say?
wait. People's past, stuck in their past.
Okay. Okay. Stuck in their past.
But but you didn't finish. You didn't finish, so I
No, 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 no.
apologize. Go
Oh,
back.
no, no worries. I'm gonna go with what you said. I'm gonna go with what you said. So people stuck in their past. Now, is this, are we talking about past relationships, or are we talking about just past in general? So any childhood trauma,
All
the
the
whole
above.
gamut, all the above. What's the answer to that?
Truthfully, I'm gonna say whatever I say. It doesn't always. It applies, but people may not be able to take it. You gotta let your past go. I mean, no matter how bad it is, you gotta let what happened to you at 13. You now 50. You gonna keep. You want to keep being that victim because that person who did it to you is living a life. They didn't apologize for it, they done forgave it, and they living a good life, and you're still stuck on something that happened, or they could be dead, or whatever the case may be, but you're still stuck on something. And I'm not trying to sound cold because I talk to people all the time who have been, raped, molested, whatever the case may be, or whatever and stuff. And I know I come across as cold, but I'm not trying to. I'm trying to help you better your life. One of our biggest problems is that we love to be victims.
Mm,
We
wow.
we love to hold on to our past and the hurt and the pain. Like people get so much pleasure from that, and it doesn't make sense. Because guess what? You're not that person. You're not that person right now. You know that happened when you were 13. You are now 40 something, 50 something or whatever. And you're trying to figure out how come I can't get this man, or how come I can't do this? Well, because you're still stuck and you want to stay stuck.
Mm,
I'm a,
I,
I want to piggyback on that. I mean, I want
okay.
to go, what's the solution to that when you give them that hardcore answer, or that, because that's an answer, but then it requires another answer. What's the answer to doing what you said? And because here's the point, it ain't easy, but what's the
It's
answer?
not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy for any of us. Like if we really want to look at it, all of us have our own issues. All of us has been through something. I don't care if you
Mhm.
had the mom and the father in your house and your life was perfect. You have experienced something because God ain't gonna just leave you hanging. You know what I mean? Like not let you get away with something. And all of us, like if I told you my life, you would be like, she should hate black men. She should hate all kinds of stuff. But for what? For what? Then I would be giving them what they wanted, and that ain't gonna work. I,
Mhm.
I have learned with my clients, and I tell my clients, and I even tell my friends, I can only help you so far. If you don't want to change and stop, I'm not wasting my time because it's
Yeah.
your mindset. You got to do the work. I can only help you and help you with the tools and stuff. But if you're stuck in being like this, you're on your own. And don't keep coming to me with the pity because I'm not the one. I'm not going to fall for it. I'm gonna be like, you want to be here. So we all, as we know, we're all coaches. We know there's 1,001 solutions, and every solution is not for everybody. You got to base it off of your clients. Each client is different. You got to cater to each client, but you also know when you to say, yeah, let me stop.
Mhm. Yeah. That's true. That's
So,
true.
People, especially our people, unfortunately, and I speak a lot on our people because that's what I know and that's what I deal with the most. We like drama. We like
Hmm.
trauma. We
Hmm.
like we. I won't say we because I'm not gonna keep saying we as if we fit into that. But for for a lot of our people, we get high off of that. We
Hmm.
like people to feel sorry for us. We like to that pity. Oh, woe is me. We like that. Men like to be Captain Save a Hose, and women like to be, oh, let me build this man and let me help him. And You ain't helping him. You making him work. Don't get me started, y'all. Y'all done got me like this.
Yeah, but you say something very interesting, because the mindset that I talk about is the mindset is the right. Where's the hope in that scenario? Where's the hope in that scenario? Because that scenario is not new. It's not something that we are not familiar with it one way or another. But what's the hope of overcoming it? What's the hope of overcoming that mindset?
So I'm gonna always say this, and I always go back to, I started off as a matchmaker. That's one of the things that I was. But then I realized, but with my matchmaking, you had to go through my sessions, because how am I gonna match you and find you the perfect match and you not the perfect match for them? So we got to make sure we tap into you. And what I realized was I didn't have to be a matchmaker, because if I could get you to tap into yourself, you was going to work it out, and that mate was going to show up, and I wouldn't have had to do anything other than make sure, put you to the right tools and motivate you and keep pushing you, for you to get to where you need to be. That hope is it's a self thing. You got to, like you said, mindset coach. Until you change your mindset, that's the key. It's that simple. Until you put in the work, stop looking at everybody else, stop pointing fingers at everybody else, till you put into your own work, deal with your own demons. We all got demons. And some of us as together as coaches, we need each other, because we got our own demons too. I still will cuss out somebody in a heartbeat if I have to. I'm not perfect because I decide to be a coach. I don't have all the answers because I decide to be a coach, but I know how to deal with it in a different way than most. Or I can hold myself accountable. Tanya, you was wrong for that. You better get it together. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
it's all about self,
Yeah,
and not
yeah,
being selfish. But that self love is so significant. That mindset is so significant.
yeah.
That's the only thing
Hey,
I can say. The hope.
I'm going that's all well and good, because that's right down my alley. I mean, if the hope is what you're after, yeah, that's right down my alley, because it starts up here. Let me ask a question, because I'm getting ready to throw you a little U-turn here, because I'm going to go back to your military experience, because my journey was essential. My military experience was essential to my journey,
Okay,
and I want
me
to
too.
know how did it impact you, because it was everything to me. Tell me about your military experience, where you were a civilian, a dependent, and a military member. Tell me how that impacted you, because it was tremendous for me.
The United States Air Force is the best thing that ever happened to me. Like my stepfather came into my life when I was 5. So I became a military brat. He was military. So I started school in Japan, um, lived Washington State. I went to high school in Spain. I was in Spain. Our spring break was at nude beaches, clubs. There was no drinking age. Europe is a whole experience, So when I had to come back to California in the States at 15, which I wanted to come back so bad, but once I got back, it was like, yeah, I want to go back over there, you know. So, so just it was a freedom. It was a freedom. But I came back here, graduated high school in California, and I ended up going into first. I married someone. He was in the military. Then I went into the military and stuff. And it's just an example. Just an example. I do well in my business is because I know how to cater to people. I know how to cater to my clients. I know how to cater to Black men, because I'm a big Black man advocate too. I was taught that by 3 white men. I worked for I worked in a flight, so I had the officer in there. I had the senior enlisted, and then I had a civilian who was in charge in there. And I worked for all 3 men. Then I had a maintenance guy. I was administrative, so I had to make sure all their stuff was together. I had a maintenance guy who was a supervisor who had to learn my field because they didn't have anybody in the position before I came. So this maintenance guy actually trained me or whatever. But because I work with these guys. Now, keep in mind, they're all in charge of something. They always in charge, but they were supposed to work together as a team. So all of them got the big head. All of them are arrogant. All of them are cocky, and all of this stuff. So 3 men in charge in the same office. I didn't see them fight. I done seen them cheat. I saw all kinds of stuff. And one of the things that they told me in the beginning, if you take care of me, if you take care of us, we'll take care of you. We had the best numbers. We was taken care of. I never spent money on lunch. Everybody else was working 12-hour shifts, not LaTonya MeChelle. Like, they taught me, and they taught me the skill. They taught me the Air Force. They taught me so much. But starting off with them is how my life just got better and better. And I use these skills that people don't even think twice about. Is how I'm the way that I am now. Everything about the military was significant. I mean, I worked for a general, the general in the Air Force LOSI, a black man. You know, I got to see so many different things that was so significant, and I still had the same personality. I've always had a mouth. I've always. Wait a minute. Question. Am I supposed to follow your instructions, or am I supposed to follow the instructions of the Air Force? Because if I'm following your instructions, just know I'm going to write a note on this. So if we get in trouble, it's because we got in trouble because you told me as my supervisor. But, you know, and that would make them think. So love the military. And now the more and more I'm in my business, all my skills that I could care less about way back then is kicking in. I love the military, but I was smart enough because my dad taught me, use the military to your advantage. Don't get caught up in the game or whatever. And I do that now. Love it. Love it.
I have not, well, everybody, how do I say this? The passion that I have for what I do now stems from my 9 years in the military. And people don't recognize the value that we learn, that we gain by being in the military. If you understand how to take advantage of it, if you know how to take advantage of it, but you've got to be able to adapt. You've got to be able to adapt, though. Don't get me wrong. You've got to be able to adapt. And if you're unable to adapt, you'll miss it. But if you can adapt and learn how it works, because that's all it is. That's what the ranking system is all about. The more you get to figuring it out and understand it, you get in rank. You learn rank. You earn rank in the Air Force at least. But you got to figure out the rest of them. Yeah. You got to. Well, to be honest with you, you know, you got to earn your stripes in the Air Force. They just ain't giving them out. So yeah, that's great.
One of the other services I provide, we're not going to go into that, but I do VA disability claims now, and a lot of the stuff, because I also do PTSD coaching, and so a lot of the stuff that I have to deal with my clients is letting them recognize that you didn't do this the right way. You let the military brainwash you. So now it's my job to unbrainwash you so you can get a check every month. So we're going to have to go through everything that you went through in the military just for me to show you and train you that, guess what? Let's get your money back from Uncle Sam's. We can't take away what happened to you, but we can make sure we kick him in the tail every single month when you get that check.
Wow.
Because you deserve it.
I've been very fortunate in the sense that my dad actually got some benefits from the military after he got out, and he was in the Korean conflict. And back in the early 2000s, they were giving him money to aid him. So I understand fully what you're talking about there. But back into your love coaching, how does the fact is, you basically said that the things that you've learned you use today in it, but your love coaching, how does that reward help you in transforming other people's lives in their relationship? And let me ask you a question. In the process of doing this, what made you want to get into love as a love coach?
That's a great question. That was going to be my question if you didn't ask it. Like, what was the journey that took you from
The
military
military.
life, the way you grew up, and finding this as a purpose and passion?
So it's an interesting story. So I was married for 12 years, and my husband was abusive physically and mentally. I had no self-esteem, but I was intelligent. So when I got out the military, I end up this Argentina man, one of the military guys that I work with was a contracting officer. So he's got me a job. He sent my resume, and I end up working with this man who was from Argentina. And as a linguist, I was doing his special security. So I was doing his security clearances for his contracting. And this man taught me about image, like, and at this time I'm going through a divorce. And remember, I had no self-esteem, but I was a good worker. So I'm going through image and everything and stuff. And so he had me going to different events. So I was going to events with like dignitaries and people from other countries. I was going to the Chamber of Commerce for Argentina and all of this stuff. So I was meeting all these people, and they all were trying to date me. And I didn't want to date them because I didn't know, I didn't get it. I had been beat. I just wanted to be free. I couldn't even look at myself in the mirror or whatever. But I started thinking, because I've always had a business sense, maybe I could be a matchmaker. And these men come to town, let's hook you know what I mean? That's how it really came to mind. But I've always, even before then, I always had a desire for love. Even though I hadn't experienced it, I always have a desire for love. And my friends always say, if you have nothing else, you have love. You love everybody. And so it just started coming together. I never did it with the guys. I never did that type of matchmaking or whatever. But I just started just doing research. People started coming to me and everything and stuff. And my experience, that's how it started. It was like, you know what? I need to really start getting paid to do this, because I'm getting couples together. People are coming to me to build up their confidence, because I did get to a point where I realized who I was and I started loving myself. So, and when I did that, it changed me completely. And I was like, I don't want anybody to go through what I went through. It's people look at me now and they be like, oh, she's confident and she's got it together. Like, I have been through hell. I danced in it. The devil threw fire at me and all kinds of stuff or whatever and stuff. I am a person who has been through something, and I don't look like what I've been through. And if I can help other people, I will. Me and my ex-husband, although he was beating me, we could have made it work. And I believe that. I really do believe that. I'm not telling anybody to stay with an abusive person, but I do believe that people can change. Because if you realize where it's coming from and you fix it and start working on it, any and all of us can change. But I didn't know that till afterwards. I would never want to do it again, but I do know that in doing my research, knowing that you can make anything work if you want it to work. And most people don't know that. And so love just became my normal thing, with relationships, with self-confidence and all of that. So I hope that answered your question.
It did.
You just made a point there, though, that I don't want to gloss over it. And that is that anybody can change if they want to.
If you want to.
If they want to. And I think so many people don't understand the power of what you just said. See, you can be attempting to do something, but your actions are inconsistent with you wanting to get it done.
Yeah.
And if you don't have the same, because they have to align. You got to want, and the want is what you're going to act in line with. And if you don't, you're speaking out this. And the thing about it is, if you don't even know that it's just that specific, you create the change right up here. And so you may, and I don't want the people to miss that, because we give up a whole lot quicker than we should.
We do. We
But
do.
it's easy to give up. It take work to do what you just said.
I think it goes back to the mindset piece that you were talking about earlier. Like there's we know how to change our behavior. Like we can change our behavior to suit whatever,
Whoever.
right? Whatever
Yeah.
scenario. But if the mindset isn't in alignment with that behavior, and Juan, you've heard me say this all the time, behavioral change without mindset change is not sustainable long term. It's just impossible. You're gonna go back
Come on.
at some
Right.
point, right? So I think it goes back to that
That's what
mindset
happens in
change.
dating.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
happens in dating all the time and in relationships. They give you, you meet them, you get the representative because they know what you're looking for. Because most likely you tell them, I could play that role for a little while until it really hits you. Like, wait a minute, hold up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the thing about it is and I hope to be getting this is on a relationship seminar here, but the fact of the matter is that here's the thing that I've understood is that most people don't know that they're not being authentic when they're doing it.
Hmm.
I
They're
agree with that.
they're entering into it not understanding that they're not being their authentic selves until the situation or circumstances hits the fan, and then it comes out their authentic self.
I agree with that. And just
Yeah,
that's kind of like when you think that you've healed from something and you go through it, you're going through things and stuff, and you know that you've healed, you've put in the work to heal, but then something hits you that you never encountered before, but you have. And it's just like, wait a minute, I thought I worked on myself, but here's something new. Guess what? You got to go through that too. It's like that's
that
part of
that
life.
that's the willingness to always want to grow when you run into things that you didn't understand. It's about knowing, accepting the fact that there are some unknown unknowns.
Right. Right.
I got another question, and Juan, sorry, I know this will
I'm all
probably
for it.
keep us
I'm
in the
here
same
for it. That's what the
space.
interviews are for.
This, yeah,
Bring
this
it.
will keep us in the same space. But you talked about, here's what I love, right? About, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but this is just in interviews that I've done in other areas as well. I dare say 95% of the people that I've asked the question, what was the journey to you finding your purpose and passion? 95% of the time, their purpose and passion is birthed out of some level of pain.
Mm-hmm.
And you talked
Mm-hmm.
about your experience and being very intelligent, but not having high self esteem, not having that level of confidence. What was the turning point for you? And the reason why I'm asking this for two reasons. One, I want to know what's the turning point for you. But two, for that person who was like, man, I'm grappling with my level of confidence. What was the turning point for you where you just were like, okay, I'm that person?
Because I'm very transparent. So I met somebody. In the midst
Okay.
of me being married, I met someone. They weren't trying to holler at me. I actually was at a conference and I met this guy, and at the end, he was good looking, he was handsome. And at the end of the conference, he came up to me and he said, I've watched you all week and you don't pay attention to your surroundings. You're really in your own world. You don't see nobody else but yourself. He was like, I don't even think you understand how beautiful you are. You don't understand any of this. You're like a zombie.
Wow.
Ooh. Can you imagine just someone that you don't know coming up? And I told him, I said, I need to keep your information. And that person helped me look in my mirror. And it still took a long period of time or whatever. Because let's be honest, I've been divorced from my husband since 2002. So that's a long, long time. And my journey of finding myself and building my confidence happened like when I was 30 something. I'm now 53. People look at me and they swear up and down I'm always in the mirror and stuff. I would say probably it's been just a good 3 years. Keep in mind, picture y'all seen the video. mean, my hair is short and all of that. So it's probably just been a good 3 years where I really look in the mirror at myself. I was building my confidence, but I still wasn't looking in the mirror at myself because I couldn't see what I needed to see. Because when you look in the mirror, you got to see if you're looking right, you know. And my first experience of abuse, I had long hair. And my first experience of abuse, my ex-husband pulled my hair and grabbed it and dragged me from the bedroom out the front door. So that my freedom was cutting my hair, because who can grip my hair like that? So even though that I've been out of the abusive and all of that for years, I'm still dealing like this, growing my hair back. If you know me over a period of time, I've had short hair for years, and I would grow it a little and then I would shave it off because I actually like my short haircut. But this is even a challenge for me now to grow my hair out, because even though I try to pretend that I was over it, it's still a factor. And until I can have hair down my back and I can wear it for a while and not worry about anything or triggers and stuff, I'm not completely healed.
I think that goes to the fact that we're all on a journey.
We're all on a journey, you know, and so that's how it initiated. But to me, I'm still on that personal journey, you know. So
yeah. Wow, good stuff.
All right, we're gonna shift again.
Okay, let's do it.
Talk to me about your media personality, your personality. Tell me about your media things. You're on television, you're in radio, you're a sports analyst, host of your own talk show. Talk to me. Tell me about your entrance into the media platform.
I love media. And so honestly, my media started really by chance. I used to live in Texarkana years ago for like probably less than a year. And someone had hired me to do their PR for a play, walked in the studio to the owner because we needed to do an ad. And the owner of the company said, listen, if you need to do the voiceover for the ad. I'm like, I don't do voiceovers. I don't want to do, because I never needed to be in the front of the camera, you know? So it's like, I don't need to do it. He was like, yeah, you need to do it. And I said, well, if you let me do it, because I'm an Eagles fan. I was like, if you let me, if I do this, you got to let me come on your sports show and talk, and be a host, be a guest one time. He was like, okay. So I went on there, was a guest one time, and I got to talk mess because everybody here loves the Cowboys. And I only wanted to get on there just to dog the Cowboys and talk about the Eagles. And so I got on there one time, and then I became a regular. So that's how I started with media or whatever and stuff. And so I've done several radio shows and talk shows. In Atlanta, I did media for the celebrities. So the red carpet affairs, I've interviewed from Kirk Franklin, Lou Gossett Jr., Patti LaBelle, so many and stuff. And so I've decided that I really, really love it because I didn't want people just to see the celebrities as what they see on a normal basis. I wanted people to see the personal side of them. So I was doing that. I have a magazine called LoveChology, which is all about love, relationships, singlehood, and good sex. And I am a co-host for a show. It's called The Sunday Show, and it's on 104.7 FM KTOY in Texarkana, Texas. And I also have my own talk show called the LoveChologist Talk Show. And I've released my magazine called The Rulers, A Black Woman's Proof That Positive Black Men Exist. I released that next week. So
nice.
That's my media.
I see that you're doing quite a lot. Where do you find or have the time to do so, all of this? Because I know just to do the podcast that we have here, it's no small feat. So how do you get it all done?
you know what? So the media stuff is a passion for me. Like I'm so creative. Like I design the websites. Everything you see, I do myself. And so you know how people have hobbies and they start, my hobbies is okay, let's create a magazine, let's create a website, let's interview some people. So um I don't know, I just do it, I love it.
You don't have a team? Do you have a team?
I have another person on my team who does my
Okay.
administrative. I do everything else.
Okay. Hey, I understand. I get it. I got it. I mean, take my word for it. I get it. I get it. I mean, but
I
I
just so
mean,
happen to, I just so happen to love the stuff, so it's easy for me, and that's just I get high off of doing. Ooh, let's do this. Let's try this. So yeah,
well, all
and I
right.
like to
Okay.
showcase people.
You like what?
I like to showcase people. I like to make other people look good.
Well, good, and that's what we're here for, to make each other look good.
Right,
So,
right.
you got anything else, Oliver?
I got a whole lot, man, but I know we don't got a whole lot of time. So I've been kind of, like I said, I've been kind of reading through this. I appreciate I appreciate you being as candid as you are. I want to go all the way back to the beginning. You talked about um the way you coach, and I love that you said, man, we got to get over, like we got to let some things go. Right? I was talking to some guys on Monday and we were talking about the same thing. Like, man, we don't have the time now
We don't.
to continually pacify the stuff that we went through as an excuse to not grow, right? And I love that you said that, and I love that that's the candid approach that you take. What is what a person who comes to you, and obviously you can't give too much of this away because you want people to work with you, but the person who comes to you, what can they expect in the way of putting in the work? Like if I say, hey, listen, if you work with LaTonya, don't think you just gonna be out there just lunching, right? What can a client expect from you?
I'm probably gonna hurt your feelings because we're gonna be transparent, and I'm going to put it out. 'Cause my whole thing is, don't come to me if you're not ready for realness. I don't even like to use the word realness because some people's lies are realness to them or whatever. So let me just change that. If you're not ready to be authentic and put in the work, I'm not the person. There's 1,001 coaches. Go to them. I'm not that person. Now, if you're ready for change and ready to put in the work and someone to hold you accountable and also hold your hands, and if I need to cry with you, I'm gonna cry with you. But if you're ready to get to the other side, and you want to be debriefed from your brainwashing, then you need to come to me. If not, go somewhere else, because I strongly believe that we were all created almost perfect at birth. We didn't start getting bad until we started with what our parents has taught us, what the churches have taught us, what everybody has taught us. We're so confused at this point because half the stuff that we were taught wasn't necessarily facts. It was just some beliefs that may not even be truth or whatever. And so we have become these people that was created by, it's like clay. So my whole thing is like, let's break the pot. Let's break it and let's rebuild. Let's go back to your natural state when you was originally created in your unique matter, and let's walk in that greatness. Because right now, what you got is it's not serving you at all. And either you want to operate here, they we won't have the discussion about heaven. We're not going to talk about heaven and hell. But what I'm going to say is heaven is here on earth if you want it to be. I will say that. Your happiness and peace, you don't have to die to get it. Happiness and peace of mind is here on earth if you want it. And I'm here for that.
I love it. I guess the most natural next question would be, how can people work with you? But go ahead, Juan. I know you might have something else first before we get to
No,
that.
she and I already, we already vibing. It done. I ain't got nothing to say. She and I vibing because, I'm really, matchmaking is a byproduct of a mindset.
It
Okay,
is.
your authentic self precedes any relationship that you ever gonna think about getting into. So
Mhm.
what she's doing is that she takes it to another level, gets you to the point where you can actually see that person and find that person that means something to you. But she and I vibing. I mean, I could sit there and listen to her because there is no second answer to that harsh statement that she made. The simplest thing that you talk about when she said get over it, you got to want to get over it.
Mhm.
And so when she
Yep.
said that, I mean, there's no alternative there,
Yep.
you know.
All
And
all the excuses have been taken away with the statement that was made that if you can change if you want to.
if you
So
want
now,
to,
so now what you got to say?
it's
Right.
a five
Right.
letter, it's a 5 letter word that I use. It's called a choice.
It's listen. Listen. I have a motto to that. Choices. Constantly having opportunities to increase change and empower self.
Say that again.
Constantly having opportunities to increase change and empower self. That's what choices stands for.
See what I'm saying? And you got
I
acronyms
like that.
for it. You
I
got
like that.
acronyms for it. All I'm talking about is like, look,
Like that.
it's right here. It's right here.
Mhm.
And we've born with it. Everybody want it. Now use it.
People will look at you like social media has polluted so many people. They look at somebody else and they want to be that person, and they have no idea what they're really looking at. It's a facade. Like, you have no idea. People will look at me and be like, they want to be me. No, you don't want to walk in my shoes because my life ain't as easy as it appears. Like, I have to put in work to be me. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
So it's like you two are here and you're dedicated to something, but you go through some stuff. Your
Mhm.
life ain't perfect.
Yeah, that's
There
right.
is no
We struggle too.
there is no such thing as a perfect life. That's why
It's
it's
Hmm.
not.
called it's life.
It is
That
right,
Yep.
if it was perfect, it would not be life. It would not be
right.
life. Hey, let me tell me what's happening in your future. What's going on? What's you got happening coming up? Anything that you want to tell us about? We're going to be wrapping it up shortly. Anything happening that you want to share? I know you threw a lot of stuff out there a little bit earlier, but is there anything that you want to share with us or leave a lasting word with our audience?
So I'm super excited. I just wrote a grant. I partnered with a nonprofit organization. It's a sports team, basketball brand in California. I wrote a grant and we won it. We won the full amount of the grant for 40,000. So we're adding a basketball program with my life coaching. So that starts soon. I just got accepted to a program with Texas A&M for entrepreneurs for veterans. So I'm in the midst of that now, and they fly me down to Houston next month or whatever, for a week, and we just meet with like Google, all these major companies and everything and stuff. So I'm super excited for that. Um, I'm releasing Rulers, the magazine for Black men. I'm releasing that soon. I'm releasing a new issue of LoveChology. Listen, my space opens back up in August for new clients. So I'm virtual. I do all my training virtual. So it doesn't matter where you are. I'm here. I'm here. And what I always say to everybody, please take the time, all the time that you take to invest in everybody else. You mothers, fathers, you will invest in your kids and your spouse, your mother, your everything. But people rarely take the time to invest in themselves. Take the time to heal. Take the time to fall in love with that person in the mirror, the good, the bad, and ugly. Believe me, it's you went through the things that you went through for a reason. And if you achieve that and you're still alive and making it, that means you got a whole lot of other stuff that you can take and you're going to get. So be you and be your biggest cheerleader. That's it.
All righty. Hey, I
That's good.
appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Hey, thank you
Thank
very
y'all.
much for coming, and we are going to be in touch. I mean,
Okay.
we
Okay. I'll
gotta
get you guys
be.
in the magazine too.
We've got to.
Oh, nice. That's what's
We've
up.
we've got
Yeah.
to do something
That'll work.
together because it's a
Let's do
one-two
it.
punch here. Hey,
Let's do it.
it's just one because that ain't the only nonprofit you can write a grant for.
Yes, sir.
I,
All right.
hey, I was
Okay.
hey Juan. I was wondering if you caught that.
Oh no, absolutely, absolutely.
That was
Hey,
my
I was
first
wondering if
time.
you
Listen,
caught that.
that was my first time writing it too, and not like there was a lot of organizations, and most of them only got partial. We got the full amount.
well, we're gonna give you
That's
another
what's up.
chance to do another one because we want you. We want you. All right. Well, look,
That's
I
what's
want to
up.
thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you so much, LaTonya, for being with us. Hey, go on the backstage. We're going to be back with you for a minute, but we're going to close out the show. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Indeed.
Bye, everybody. Thank you guys for having me.
All righty.
Indeed. Indeed. Good stuff. Good stuff. Listen, if so for me, right? If you didn't take anything else away, which I'm sure you did, because it was a lot that was said, the what I like about LaTonya is that she is very uh honest. What you want in a coach is somebody who is not going to mix words, right? So, Juan, you know me. We've had enough conversations. So, you know, I can appreciate somebody who says exactly what's in their head, me being a shotgun communicator. So, you can change. I'm saying that all to tee this up. You can change if you want to.
Hey,
So, let me just piggyback onto that to say what that implies. That implies that if you ain't changing, you don't want to.
that's the bottom line.
And that's on you. That
That's
ain't on
on you.
us.
Yep.
That's on
Yep.
you. Right. So I love it. I love it. Listen, you can connect with LaTonya at on her website. Let me go ahead and throw her website up on the screen so that you can find out more about her. You can also see the services that she provides. You can get into the coaching spaces if that's what you so desire. All of that you can see on her website. The website is on the screen right now. Make sure you reach out to her. Make sure you connect with her. I believe social media and everything is on there, so you can get wherever you need to go as it relates to LaTonya in that space that you see on the screen. Also, shout out to LinkedIn user. I'm not sure who LinkedIn user is because it doesn't say the person's name, but LinkedIn user said, "Oh, it's Barry." It's
Yeah.
Barry. I'm gonna tell you how I
Okay.
know it's Barry for the next comment. Shout out to Barry in the comments. He said, "Congrats on all these successes, LaTonya. Also, yet another great show. Love from TNT. Shout out to TNT.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
TNT holds a special place in my heart. We all know that. So
Yeah.
shout out to Barry. Thanks for being here.
Hey, before we go, and before I let you get everybody reach out to Oliver, I just want to know that something I got coming up. This is going to be on the 27th, and I brought it up last week, and now it's already on Eventbrite. Can I throw that up there, Oliver? There it is. How how to shift your fixed mindset to a growth mindset. It's going to be a 1 hour, 1 hour. It's from 12 to 1 on the 27th, next Thursday. You can't miss it. Just go to Eventbrite, register, and meet me at lunchtime on Thursday. We're going to talk about this because this fixed mindset is what we're trying to address. We want to get you from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset using a love mindset. All righty. So we look forward to you. See you there. If you have any questions, you can always reach me at info@clearjourney.org. But before we go, Oliver, how can people reach you?
If you are a social media person, the handle is right there beside my name, Denali LLC, everywhere on social media. If you are an email person, you can hit me up at oliver@denali.org. For those of you who rock with us on week to week, you know I am passionate about seeing relationships thrive. A speaker, author, and coach in that space, author of the book Overcoming the Man Laws for the man who wants to be his best despite what he was taught. If it is your desire to build and maintain your dream relationship, we should probably have a conversation. So holla at me.
All righty. And as usual, we're going to call it a day, you all. Until next time, we can't change your life, but we can help you navigate it. So we look forward to seeing you next time. See you then.
Later.